10 years ago, I was producing music for a living, and I was going to a big studio in Cologne to have some of my mixes mastered. The guys there were using a custom-built MS matrix with some decent regular EQs, and I was blown away with what they could do with it. This is when I decided I wanted to build an analog EQ that had the MS matrix built in, and I started working on this with a friend of mine. To prototype this analog EQ, we used some software development kit from a German company which I worked with. At some point we had basically a rough version of an MS EQ inside the box, just to test what we wanted to do with the hardware. When I showed it to the guys from that software company, they said, wow, you should absolutely make a plugin out of this. Funnily, the hardware actually never really got into production, because by the time we had a plugin ready and we took it to some trade shows and we started selling it, the plugin completely took off. We focused on developing software ever since then. This was when we created more plugins that were all based on MS technology, and people really seemed to dig what we did with the first few releases. This is the third generation of BX Digital, the EQ plugin that basically started Brainworx as a plugin company. Seeing the V3 come to life now, Daddy couldn't be prouder. The V3 is basically a complete overhaul. We started development from scratch and implemented the latest generation of our Brainworx filters. We upgraded the internal resolution to 40 kHz. We added dynamic EQs, a proportional Q mode. There's a new feature called gain scale and some other innovative stuff like the mono maker. So we never really stopped improving on our flagship EQ, which has become a modern classic for many people. The new BX Digital offers improved filters in terms of range and optimization. Also, the high-pass and low-pass filters have been improved upon. They now offer two different slopes of 6 dB and 12 dB per octave, giving you a gentle curve like before, but also a more dramatic filter. One of the biggest improvements in the filter section is the addition of up to 6 notch filters, which you can use in a stereo version, which is great when you have some problematic frequencies in mixes or maybe some room nodes and resonances. We also added a proportional Q mode, which is similar to what some of the old API EQs offer, and it gives you a more targeted and more direct sound. We have upgraded the bass and presence shift EQs as well, which now give you a total of 3 different tones for more variety in sounds. One thing I'd like to stress is that we have implemented a full-blown dynamic EQ in every channel now. Everybody knows what a regular EQ is. You take a frequency, for example 1 kHz, and you boost it by 3 or 4 dB, or you cut it, and that's static. But a dynamic EQ will react on the incoming signal. For example, if you boost at 60 Hz, it will grab a bass drum that's in a signal, and only when that bass drum hits, you can increase it or decrease its impact on the mix. You can still de-ess with it, just like you could with the old version, but you can also boost bands now. A totally new feature of the V3 is something we call gain scale. Everybody knows the situation. You solo a signal and then you EQ it. When you unsolo it and it doesn't fully fit into your mix, what you do is you grab the gain scale knob and you turn it up or down just a few %, and there will be a sweet spot. Well, obviously a lot of people use BX Digital to master music, especially in the MS mode, which is also the default mode when you open the plugin. But there's also a conventional left-right stereo version, which you can use on subgroups and during mixing. And the one mode that I really encourage everybody to try out is the MS recording mode, where you connect 2 microphones to your DAW and just convert them in real time to left-right stereo using the BX Digital as a matrix and also as a tone shaping tool. You can use all the filters and all the dynamic tools in it in real time, and you will get an exceptionally mono-compatible stereo signal this way. Thank you for watching. Go and grab your 14-day demos on the website and please enjoy.